Hello friends and welcome to the Southern Mountain Kitchen. Today we're making turkey noodle soup. So this is a way that you can use up some of the leftover turkey from a holiday or just a meal in general. You're going to need at least a cup and a half to 2 cups of turkey. So you can take this from breast meat or whatever type of meat you like. I use breast meat in mine. Make sure you pull the skin off the outside. And you're going to cut this into cubes, which is going to go into your soup. If you're wondering what that little dark spot is on the breast of my turkey, that's where the thermometer came out. Unfortunately, it leaves a big old hole. So once we get this cut up, we're going to make sure that these cubes are not really large. We kind of want them like medium to small, because you're going to have to be able to get this onto a spoon with noodles and other vegetables. So you really want to make sure that they're not enormous pieces of turkey. As you're cutting up your turkey, make sure that there are no tough pieces or if none of the skin got caught up in there, because you really do not want this going into your soup. Now, once you've got this cut, we're going to set it to the side, and then we're going to cut up the same amount for each thing's 3/4 cup of celery, 3/4 cup of onion, and 3/4 cup of carrots, because these are the vegetables that are going into our soup. Again, when you're cutting stuff like the celery or the carrots or the onion, we don't want huge pieces. Kind of go medium to small on these. Yes, they are going to cook up when they are inside of the soup, but you kind of don't want huge pieces. And just a reminder, when you're cutting your celery, sometimes it can be stringy and you really have to cut through to get it to slice. Again, when you're cutting your onions, make sure that these are not huge pieces. The better thing with onions is to make them smaller, because you really don't want huge chunks of onion in your soup. Because as you can see with mine, I did not let them go that large. Now, when I chose to do the carrots, you could use full-size large carrots if you wanted to. I like using the baby carrots. They're just a lot easier to cut up. They're a lot smaller, so you don't get huge chunks or pieces that are in your soup, because sometimes those take a long time to cook, and you really don't want some of your vegetables actually getting all like cooked up while your carrots are just sitting there cooking slowly. So I kind of go this route. It works for me. You can use whichever version you want, but these seem to be a little bit easier for me to work with and cook and get done at the same time as everything else. So after we have all of our vegetables cut up, we're going to get ready to go for a pot. So at this point, you need to have at least a medium to large pot to put this in, which you're going to put at least 2 to 3 cups of water, depending on how big your pot is, and then a cup and a half of chicken broth, which we're going to have added to some seasoning, which is 1 tablespoon of adobo seasoning, 1.5 teaspoons of chicken broth, a half a teaspoon of pepper, and a half a teaspoon of salt. And all of this is going into your pot, which you should be heating at least to medium to high heat. And we're going to cook this for at least 20 minutes before we even put the noodles in, because we want to make sure that the vegetables have cooked, because the noodles don't take that long to cook and we don't want them cooking apart or messing up in the pan. We just want to go ahead and get the vegetables cooked first. And the good thing is, with all the seasoning and everything in the pot, it's cooking the flavor through all at the same time. And this is what it's going to be when you have everything boiling for the 20 minutes. Now you're going to add in about 2 cups of egg noodles. Depending on how large your pot is, you're going to have to see if this fits. That's why I say I err on the side of getting a larger pot into this. And you're going to cook for another 10 minutes to get these noodles completely cooked through. You can stir this from time to time to make sure everything mixes up, to get everything incorporated. And pretty much this is the whole deal. It will be done after you reach the 10-minute limit on that, and then everything will be cooked. And when it's done, it looks something like this. This is what I had in my bowl when I was finished. I hope you liked this recipe. If you did, please like and subscribe. And if you like the recipes that I put on my channel, please check out my cookbook, which is available on Amazon and in bookstores worldwide.